Hi everyone, welcome to math class with me, Miss Alice. Now we come to algebra topic. Especially, we will learn about how to work on algebraic fractions. And here are the learning objectives. After you watch this video, I hope that you'd be able to factorize algebraic expressions, especially do the simple vectorizing. And after you know how to do simple vectorizing, I hope that you can simplify algebraic fractions involving simple vectorizing. So please prepare yourself with your notes. Pay attention to the explanations because there are some exercises that you have to do in the middle of this video. Before we start to learn about how to do simple vectorizing, let's check your prior knowledge. Do you remember about highest common factor? Well, you have learned about highest common factor in numbers topic, right? So let's do a bit of review. The highest common factor or HCF of two numbers is the highest number among all the common factors of the given numbers. So how to find the HCF of two numbers? Let's check this problem. What is the highest common factor of 8 and 20? So to find the HCF, the first step is you need to decompose 8 and 20 into its prime factors. How to get the prime factors of 8 and 20? You can use the free factor method. So let's do this. The 8. So what prime number that can divide 8? Yes, correct. That's 2. So 8 divided by 2, we will get 4. So now 4 is not a prime number. So you need to continue the process until you get prime number at the end. So let's find out what prime number that can divide 4. Yes, it's 2 as well. 4 divided by 2, we will get 2. We can stop the process here because 2 is a prime number. So we can decompose 8 into 2 times 2 times 2, just like this. So what about 20? Do the same process. 20. What prime number that can divide 20? Yes, it's 2. 20 divided by 2, we will get 10. Very good. But 10 is not a prime number, so you need to continue the process. So what prime number that can divide 10? It's 2. 10 divided by 2, we will get 5. We can stop the process here because 5 is a prime number. So we can decompose 20 into 2 times 2 times 5, just like this. So we can get the HCF of 8 and 20 by finding the common factors between 8 and 20 here. Can you find the common factors between them? Yes, they are 2 and 2. So the HCF is 2 times 2 equals 4. Easy, right? So let's check the next problem. What is the highest common factor of x squared and x cubed? We're not talking about a number anymore, but variables. How to find the HCF of some variables? So we can decompose x squared and x cubed. Yeah, we can decompose x squared into x times x and x cubed into x times x times x. So to find the HCF, you have to find the common factors. And it's very obvious that the common factors are x and x. So the HCF is x times x equals x squared. So let's check the next problem. What is the highest common factor of 8x squared and 20x cubed? It's the combination between numbers and variables. So how to get the HCF? Well, you can decompose the numbers to its prime factors. And do the same method just like the previous problem for the variables. So first, let's decompose 8x squared. We can decompose 8 into 2 times 2 times 2 and decompose x squared into x times x. And 20x cubed into 2 times 2 times 5 times x times x times x. So the HCF of that two numbers is, you can find out the common factors first. The common factors are 2 and x and x. So the HCF is 2 times 2 times x equals 4x squared. And now, let's talk about simple vectorizing. But before that, do you remember how to multiply two algebraic expressions? Just like this. How to expand 2x multiplied by, inside the bracket, x plus 3. It's very simple. You just multiply 2x with all terms inside the bracket. So let's start from 2x multiplied with x, and we will get 2x squared, and then multiply 2x with 3, and then we will get plus 6x. And this is how you multiply the two algebraic expressions. So what if I have to write the 2x squared plus 6x back into the form of 2x multiplied by, inside the bracket, x plus 3? What if I have to do the reverse? I have to reverse the process. So, the reverse of the multiplication process, we called it as factorizing. And this is what we're gonna do in this video. So now, how to do simple vectorizing? There are some steps that you can follow. The first step, factorize each term in the expression. If you find numbers in the term, so you need to vectorize or decompose into prime factors. So let's do 2x squared plus 6x as an example. So first step, you need to decompose or factorize 2x squared and then 6x. So let's decompose 2x squared. 2 is already a prime number, so let's write down 2 and then decompose x squared into 2 times x times x. And what about 6x? 6x, we can decompose 6 into 2 times 3 and then times x. Now, this is the first step. So let's move to the next step. The next step is identify the highest common factor of each term in the expression. So let's find the highest common factor by finding the common factors first. Can you find the common factors between these two terms? Yes, they are 2 and x. So the HCF of 2x squared and 6x is 2x here. Okay, and after you find the HCF of each terms, use the HCF to be placed outside the bracket. So you just write 2x in the front of the bracket or outside of the bracket. And what's inside the bracket? Remain factors inside the bracket. So what's the remain factors? The remain factors are x plus 3. You put them inside the bracket here. Simple, right? So this is how you do the simple vectorizing. To make it clearer, please pay attention on these examples. Example 1. Vectorize 5a plus 2b. As you can see here, there are two terms, 5a and 10b. 5a and 10b. So you need to decompose 5a first. 5 is already a prime number, so just decompose it into 5 times a, and then decompose 10b into 2 times 5 times b. So from these two terms, can you find the common factors between them? Yes, it is 5. So 5 is the HCF of 5A and 10B. So just write down 5 in the front or outside the bracket. And what's inside the bracket? Inside the bracket are A plus 2B. Just like this. So you just have factorized 5A plus 10B into 5 multiplied by inside the bracket A plus 2B. So always check your factorizing by multiplying it out. So you can check your answer whether it correct or not. So you can check it by multiplying it out. 5 times A, we will get 5A. That's correct. And then 5 times 2B, we will get 10B. So your answer is correct. Okay, so let's move to the next example. Factorize 3x squared plus x. So you need to decompose 3x squared first into 3 times x, and then decompose x. There is a number in the front of x, but it's not written, which is 1. So we can decompose x into 1 times x. And then find the common factors between them. The common factor is x. So x is the HCF. So put x outside the bracket. And what's inside the bracket? The remaining factor, which are 3x plus 1. Just like this. So you can write 3x squared plus x into x multiplied by inside the bracket 3x plus 1. You can check your answer also. X times 3x is 3x squared, and then x times 1 is x. So your answer is correct. So next example. Vectorize 9x cubed y squared minus 12x squared y. So you need to decompose the first term here. Decompose 9 into 3 times 3, and then decompose x cubed, x times x times x, decompose y squared times y here. And then do the same thing for 12x squared y. We can decompose it into, it should be minus, into 3 times 2 times 2 times x times y. And after that, just find the common factors. The common factors are 3 and x and y. So the HCF should be 3 times x times y, which is 3x squared y. Why x squared? Because there are 2 times of x here. Okay, and then what's inside the bracket? Inside the bracket are the remaining factors, which are 3xy minus 2 times 2, which is 4. 4, yeah, just 4. Here, inside the bracket is 3xy minus 4. So we can vectorize this algebraic expression into 3x squared y multiplied by inside the bracket 3xy minus 4. Let's try to do simple vectorizing. You may pause the video for a while to try to work on these problems. The first problem. Vectorize 12p squared qr cubed minus 28p qr minus 20p cubed q squared r. So, you need to decompose each term, right? So, let's start from 12p squared qr cubed. We can decompose it into 2 times 2 times 3 times p times q times r times r times r. Next, minus. We can decompose 28pqr into 2 times 7 times p times q times r. And what about the last term? We can decompose it into 2 times 5 times p times p times q times r. Okay, and then the next step is find the common factors. The common factors are 2 and 2 and P and Q and R. So the HCF should be 2 times 2 times P times Q times R. 2 times 2 is 4. So the HCF is 4PQR. Just put 4PQR in outside the bracket or in the front. And what's inside the bracket? Inside the bracket is 3PR times R. So 3PR squared minus 7 minus 5p squared q. And this is how you do the factorization. So let's work on the next problem. For this problem, it's already decomposed, so you just find the common factors between them. There are two terms, first and then the second. What are the common factor that you can see? First, you can find x, and then x minus 1, and x plus 2. That's the common factors. So, the HCF of these two terms is x times x minus 1 times x plus 2. And then, what's inside the bracket? Inside the brackets are the remaining factors, which are x minus 3 plus x plus 5. So for the numbers or the terms inside the bracket, you can add them. X plus x is 2x, and then minus 3 plus 5 is plus 2. So we can simplify it into 2x plus 2. So do you understand about how to do simple vectorizing? If you don't understand, just replay this video, or don't be hesitant to ask your teacher about which part that you don't understand. You have learned about how to do simple vectorizing, and now it's time for you to do exercise 1. Write the questions and the solutions on your notebook. The teacher will check your work in the first day of school. And now, let's simplifying algebraic fractions. Please remember, algebraic fractions are best simplified by vectorizing the numerator and then the denominator first. So you already learned about how to do simple vectorizing, so just implement it into the numerators or the denominators in the algebraic fractions. So let's check this example. Simplify 2x squared plus x all over x. Check the numerator here. There are two terms in the numerator, which are 2x squared plus x. So you can do simple vectorizing for the numerator. And for the denominator, it's only one term, so you don't need to do the simple vectorizing. So let's do simple vectorizing for the numerator here. The numerator is 2x squared plus x, so we can decompose 2x squared into 2 times x, and then we can decompose x into 1 times x. And then you can do the simple vectorizing, find the common factor. The common factor is x only, right? So just put x as a HCF, x outside the bracket. And what's inside the bracket? 2x plus 1. That's inside the bracket, 2x plus 1 all over x. So the denominator is still x. Okay? And after that, just divide the common variables or the common terms here. So you can see in the numerators you can find x, and in the denominators you can find also x, so you can simplify them. X divided by x, we will get 1. We will get 1. So it's equals 2x plus 1. So this is how you simplify 2x squared plus x all over x using simple vectorizing. Okay, so let's move to the next example. Simplify 3a cubed plus 9a squared b all over 3ab plus 9b squared. So for the numerators and then the denominator, there are more than one term. So you can do simple vectorizing each, yeah, for the numerator and then for the denominator. So let's do it separately but together, okay? So we can decompose 3a cubed first to 3 times a times a times a, plus we can decompose 9a squared b into 3 times 3 times a times a times b. And then we can decompose 3ab into 3 times a times b. It should be plus we can decompose 9b squared into 3 times b times b. And after that, we can do the simple vectorizing, find the common factors for the numerator, which is 3 and a and a. Yeah, that's all. So the HCF is 3 times a, which is 3a squared. And what's inside the bracket? Inside the brackets are a plus 3b here. And do the same thing for the denominator. Find the common factor. The common factors are 3 and a. Oh, there's no a, sorry. 3 and b. Yeah, 3 and b. So it's 3b as the HCF. Put it outside the bracket. And what's inside the bracket? Inside the bracket are a plus 3b. A plus 3b here. So we can write this algebraic fractions into 3a squared multiplied by inside the bracket a plus 3b all over 3b multiplied by inside the bracket a plus 3b. So from this fraction we can find the common terms, which is 3 and 3 here. We can simply divide. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and then a plus 3b divided by a plus 3b is 1 also, and it equals to a squared over b. This is how you simplify this kind of algebraic fractions. So let's do another example here. Simplify ab minus a all over bc minus c. So we can do the simple vectorizing for numerator and denominators. Do it together but separately. So can you find the common factor of ab minus a? The common factor is a, so the HCF is a. And what's inside the bracket? B minus 1. There is 1 here, but it's not written, right? So b minus 1. And do the same thing for the denominators. The common factor is c. So put c outside the bracket. And what's inside the bracket? b minus 1. b minus 1. So from this fraction, we can see the common terms. The common term is b minus 1. So you can simply divide it into b minus 1 over b minus 1 is 1, so equals a over c. Now let's try to simplify algebraic fractions. You may pause the video for a while to try to work on this problem. Simplify 8x cubed y squared minus 24x squared y to the power of 4 all over 12x squared y squared. So to simplify these fractions, we can do the simple vectorizing for the numerators. And for the denominators, well, actually it's only one term, so we don't need to do simple vectorizing for the denominators. So let's do the numerator. First, you need to decompose 8x cubed y squared. So we can decompose 8 into 2 times 2 times 2, and then x cubed into x times x times x, and then y squared into y times y. And then let's do the same thing for the next term. 24, we can decompose 24 into 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. You can use the factor 3 for it. And then decompose x squared into x times x. And then we can decompose y to the power of 4, y times y times y times y. And then for the denominators, you just write down 12x squared y squared. It's okay. And now let's find the common factors for each term in the numerator. So the common factors are 2 and 2 and 2 and x and x and y and y. So the HCF is 2 times 2 times 2 times x times x times y, which is 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. X times x is x squared. Y times y is y squared. So put 8x squared y squared outside the bracket or in the front of the bracket. And what's inside the bracket? The remain factors, which are x minus 3, y times y is y squared, just like this. And all over 12x squared y squared. And now we can simplify the common terms here. Well, actually we can simplify 8 and 12 by divide them with the same number, which is we can divide them by 4, and then 8 divided by 4 we will get 2, 12 divided by 4 we will get 3, and then for the x squared we can divide it with x squared, we will cancel it, and then y squared we can cancel it also. So the simple form of this algebraic fraction is 2 times inside the bracket x minus 3y all over 3, or 2 over 3 times x minus 3y squared. So if you have any question about how to simplify the algebraic fractions, once again, just replay the video, or you can ask your teacher by WhatsApp. And now it's time to do exercise 2 about simplifying algebraic fractions. Write the questions and the solutions on your notebook. The teacher will check your work in the first day of school. After you work on exercise 1 and exercise 2, now it's time for you to do exercise 3 by working the task in the active learn. So open your active learn and check the task. The title of the task is Simple Factorizing and Simplifying Fractions. There's a due date in the active learn, so please work on this task before the due date. Good luck! Okay, students, for the next math class, we will talk about simultaneous equations in two variables. So please prepare yourself. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to do the task. Don't forget to do the exercises. And I'll see you in the next class. God bless you all.